Congratulations. Our third honoree, inductee into the Victory Fund Political Hall of Fame is Virginia State Senator Danica Roem. Danica and I were in the training, the Victory Institute training together, and we both have been serving since then very admirably, and I'm so proud of Danica. Danica made global headlines in 2017 with her campaign for the Virginia House of Delegates, where she became the first out transgender legislator to serve in any state. There's no doubt her election has inspired countless members of our community since she's won. And since then, 12 other states, including my own, the state of Minnesota, has elected out transgender leaders to their state legislatures. This year, Danica moved to the upper house when she won a seat in the state Senate and will take office in Virginia's upper chamber next year. Congratulations, Danica. You don't have a mic on, so I did not hear what you said, my dear, but come on up and get your award.
I'm already sworn in.
Oh, all right. Congratulations.
First time Victory's ever gotten the music right. Nice job. Thank you. I've been doing this for 7 years. That's fantastic. Y'all, before I get started with all the other stuff, I just want to say thank you so much to my northern soulmate, Andrew Jenkins here. Her and I'll tell you, I don't think we knew when we were in the Victory Institute's candidate campaign training program, November 17th and 20th, 2016 in Dallas, that we were going to be the breakouts of that class.
Yeah.
I especially didn't because I was driving a $324 92 Dodge Shadow at the time. Its color was primer blue, as in primer and blue. It had more rust than paint. I was living at home with my mom on a reporter's salary. That reporter salary as a news editor, what's up, Michael Avers, making $23,700 in my 10th year in journalism.
Wow.
And that was in middle management. I had no idea with all of that the next year, Andrew, you and me, and 6 other trans people across the country, we changed what was possible in politics together.
Absolutely.
Love you, honey.
I love you.
All right, so let's do it old-fashioned style. I'm going to kick this off by saying, my name is Danica Roem, and I am grateful to serve the people of the City of Manassas Park, the City of Manassas, and Western Prince William County in the 30th District of the Senate of Virginia. And with the help of the Victory Fund, after our training through the Victory Institute, when I ran for office in 2017, I took on a 26-year, 13-term incumbent who was the self-described chief homophobe of Virginia, who had authored the 2006 constitutional amendment banning marriage equality, who authored the 2017 bathroom bill. And not only did we win that election, we sent a message nationwide that if you try to take our rights, we will take your seat. Now, when I was sworn in on January 10th, 2018, as the first LMC trans state legislator in the country, there are 99 legislative chambers, y'all. What's up, unicameral Nebraska? And here's the thing, you would have thought having all this attention, having actually some really good friends, and by the way, my staff has always been the best of the best of the best. Love my team, both political team and policy team. And having been surrounded by so many good people that you would feel like, oh man, just all this attention's on you, and here you are, you're gonna take over and stuff. Some of the loneliest feelings of my life have been serving in the legislature. I will tell you, when you're the only person in the room who's like you, every room that you're going into, it can be really isolating sometimes. And so the most significant part of being first was not being last. I'm going to ask, because I know a couple of y'all are here, any of the other out trans state legislators who are here, please stand up. I see Brianna's over there from Colorado. I saw Zoe from Montana earlier. She's still around? Okay. I don't know. Is anyone else I missed? Sorry, I got lights going right into my face.
Lee was here. Lee Pinky was here earlier.
Lee Pinky here? Okay, she's got it. All right, well, anyways. As the house mother of the Out Trans Legislators Caucus, I want to say that my children, who are older than I am, y'all are some of my proudest work, because what we did in 2017, the country saw it and they said, if Danica can do this, so can I. Yep. And that's the important part here, that every single one of y'all represent in this room right now, is you have made yourselves vulnerable enough to be visible, to put yourself out there and to do something not because it was easy and not even because it was likely that you would win in so many cases. You did it because you knew it was hard, and if you weren't going to be the person to do it, then who the hell was? Hey. As we look in our current system right now, and what is about to happen next month, it's coming that close, y'all, beginning next month. We have to recognize in this room right now that there is no person on a white horse who's going to come riding in to save the day for us. Not in the Supreme Court, especially after what we heard this last week. Good Lord, that was terrible. I'll get into that in a little bit. Definitely not in the presidency, and not with the new majorities that are going to be coming into Congress. It's us. Y'all, we are it. It's us. It's the advocacy groups that we work with. All those attorneys, whether they're from Lambda Legal, for ACLU, whoever, National Center for Lesbian Rights, whoever else it's going to be who's going to fight for us in the courts, for those on-the-ground liberation groups who are working so hard, who are making themselves vulnerable, who are getting arrested just to raise the stakes for everyone, so people understand the plight of the community right now. It's us. Y'all, we're the end of the line. We have to be our own best advocates. Come on. If we are not our best advocates, do not expect people who aren't from our community and who do not automatically have a reason to be sympathetic to us to champion our plight. Right. Don't expect other people to look at us when we are being viewed at best as inconvenient for some, and then expect them to say, oh, I got your back and I'm going to do this just like I would serve any of my other constituents. We have seen what happens when it is more politically expedient for people to throw us to the side because, well, not all of my constituents are worth me protecting on all of their rights. If, hey, you know what? What if we just threw away this one? What if we just threw away that one? LGBTQ people just voted in this last election 86-12 against what's coming in. 86-12. Second strongest group, only behind black women. Hey!
Black women to the rescue.
You tell me which of those 86% that have fought so hard and made the largest number of out people to ever participate in an election. You tell us which one of them you don't want to vote for you in your next election. And by the way, warning shot to those folks, mess around and find out real fast. If you don't support us when we are your constituents, don't be surprised when an Emma Curtis unseats you. Don't be surprised if you find out very quickly that we will defend our rights by out-organizing you, by out-hustling you, and by working to make sure that constituent service is inclusive of everyone. Why is it that someone like Andrea has been elected and reelected and reelected? How come I've won 4 terms in a purple district? It's because we put constituent service first, because we bust our ass taking care of the very most vulnerable people we're elected to serve, and we treat everyone with dignity, no matter where they are in our community. Yeah. We work for those folks. Yeah. You just heard from the other folks here today who are being inducted into the Hall of Fame, the work that they've done and are doing to make one state, to make one city more inclusive for a lot more people. They do that not because they don't expect to be criticized, not because they expect that things are going to go easy. They're willing to take those arrows at the front of the line because they know so many more people need to see them be resilient in that face of hate, in that face of adversity, so that they can say, if he can do it, if she can do it, if they can do it, I can do it too.
Yes.
We have to follow that example.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Now, in my 4 terms, I'm about to go into my 8th session in office. We've now passed 51 of my bills into law, all with bipartisan support. Very proud of this. My predecessor, by the way, passed 64 bills over 26 years. So if a really good upcoming year, I'll pass them in year 8. But it might take 1 or 2 more. But as I think about this, I think, you know what? When I ran that first campaign on Fixing Route 28, and by the way, 28 in Centerville is a lot better than when I started, and I got another $62.5 million coming in. Oh, wait, did I do that? Oh, super cool. And that we've passed 14 of my bills to feed hungry kids, because no child should ever go to school hungry, because a hungry kid can't learn. And why is it that I've worked so hard, we passed 4 or 5 of my bills just on reforming the court-appointed adult guardianship system, when those are the most vulnerable people in our society who have their rights taken away from them as incapacitated adults, and time again, they are left alone, sometimes until they die. Why else do we champion these folks? Not because I was hungry in school. I wasn't. Not because I'm worried about what's going to happen with me in guardianship. I'm not. It's because as an out trans person, especially remembering what it was like when I wasn't out, when I was closeted, when I was too scared to tell anyone who the hell I was, it's because I don't want anyone else to go through what I did. I don't want anyone else to suffer in silence. I don't want anyone else to hurt. The whole effing job of an elected official isn't to hurt the people they represent.
Come on.
It's to help people. It's to wake up every single day and say, what can I do to make society better today? And it is impossible to make society better when you are throwing people under the bus. It's impossible to make things better when you run $200 million just in broadcast TV ads alone, attacking the very people you're elected to serve as if they deserve less than anyone else. We just saw this awfulness, this targeting. And you know what it was at its absolute core? It was a message to straight men that if you vote for Kamala, you're gay. Let's say it. Let's call it what it is.
Come on, call it out.
It's homophobia that they wrapped in transphobia. The implicit message on this was, if you are going to live up to the ideals of masculinity, then Donald Trump is going to be your candidate. But oh my God, if you don't do that, if you deviate from that, then you're not that. Then you're not masculine. You're not X, Y, or Z. Or for a lot of women who did this too, do you really want this? Do you really want them to be associated with you? That's what this happened. Sexism, classism, all the other isms that you can think of that played a part of this. Y'all, here's the thing. There was a time and place for a long time in this country that went for centuries in this country where that was normalized, where that was our day-to-day. But it's not anymore because we have a room like this in our community today, and we are not going back.
No, not at
We saw some of the most qualified people you can imagine running for office against someone who says people are eating dogs and cats. Wipe the floor with that person at a debate, and then that person still wins.
all. Right.
Right? Just think of this. My journalism brain is not equipped to handle a post-factual world, and I refuse to allow that to happen on my watch. So my ask for you all today, too, is not only for you to live up to your best values, but also remember, we don't have to act like that for us to win. Yes, we had setbacks, but Andrea and I did not stoop to the lowest common denominator to win our campaigns. We delivered for our constituents, and that's how we won our
Come on,
campaigns.
tell it. Come on, tell it.
And then we were good at telling people what we did. We were good at communicating. We were good at showing up. You know where I was before I got here this morning? I was marching in the Manassas Christmas parade, singing hello, hi, how you doing? Merry Christmas, happy holidays, great to see you. Hey, thanks for coming out. Hey, right on, blah, blah, blah. I was doing that this morning, right before I got here. Why? So I could be in front of a couple thousand people in my hometown and just once again put my face out there in front of them and say, I'm your state senator, I'm here whenever you need me.
That's it.
Right?
That's it.
Brings us to the next point. Supreme Court this week. We heard it. We heard those arguments that happened. And we saw the Solicitor General of the United States basically be Lisa Simpson up there, complete with every fact that you can imagine, well-researched, well-argued, not a single thing thrown at her that she did not have a well-thought-out, citation-worthy response level to. And then what we hear from the Solicitor General of Tennessee, we're not discriminating on account of sex, it's on medical condition. Supreme Court, Justices Sotomayor and Kagan and Jackson then said, whoa, hold on. How is what you're doing not linked to discrimination on account of sex? Brawndo has what plants need. It's electrolytes. No. Over and over, we heard circular logic, where that side did not even come close to the defense from the United States Solicitor General. And yet, we watch them side with a bad argument, the one that is likely to prevail. So what do we do? Well, number one, our community has to convince ourselves and to everyone else that when we're dealing with federal elections, it's Supreme Court or bust, y'all.
Right.
That's issue number one. Number two, what happens from here going forward for the next 4 years? The battle's going to be in the states, the battle's going to be in the cities, the battle's going to be in the counties, in the towns, in the villages. It's going to be at the state and local level.
Yep.
If the Congress is not going to help us, if the federal government's not going to help us, we have to help ourselves locally.
Yep.
Which means that for you all who are in the donor class here, thank you for helping make the Victory Institute what it is today. We're grateful for you. Thank you for helping our candidates. Grateful for you. Please have peer-to-peer conversations with the people who are also in the donor class to be able to convince them that state legislatures, city councils, school boards, and everything else are vital to our existence. We implore you to help the down ballot. Number three, like I said before, we have to be our own best advocates. Unity, frickin' unity, y'all.
In unity.
We cannot be sniping at each other right now. When we have an existential threat to our community, we have got to stop picking on victims from within our own community because they didn't do X, Y, or Z the way we would have done it.
Come on now, tell the truth.
Understand that we have to be the ones who make ourselves vulnerable enough to be visible, who put ourselves out there and fight for our rights. And if someone in our community gets knocked down, we, just like the mosh pit, right, Emma? We got to be the ones who pick them back up. We got to be the first people in line. And the last thing that I'll say, yes, I'm the first out and see a trans state legislator in the country, and I'm going to be the first out and trans state legislator in the country to ever quote a Swedish melodic death metal song at stage, the Victory Institute. By the band Amon Amarth. Though your arrows block the sun, I will find a way or make one.
Okay.
Don't ever, ever let anyone take your hope away. Don't you ever, ever let anyone get in the way of your rights to exist, of your health care, of your ability to simply exist in the same space as anyone else. You belong here because of who you are, not despite it, and not for what discriminatory politicians tell you you're supposed to be. You be you better than anyone else ever could, because you're the only one who ever can. And don't ever, as Lemmy said, let the bastards grind you down. Thank you so much.
Congrats. Here, help me up, babe.